Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Under the Apple Tree. We're actually in my bedroom today because I'm hiding from the boys. I've got both boys home today, neither of them are children. One is a husband, one is an adult son, and my husband is now on leave from his job as a teacher. He was so lucky that about 8 months ago he put in for leave because my birthday was coming up and he wanted to we wanted to go away together and have some fun times before my birthday actually came, and so he took 2 weeks leave leading up to Easter, and now they're here, and it's really good because the schools in Australia haven't closed, and this means that he's actually away from the danger of being in contact with 1,000 people per day. And then that backs onto the Easter holidays, so he gets another 2 weeks, and then I doubt very, very much that schools will be back after Easter for a week or so, maybe longer. We don't know how things are unfolding. So today is Saturday, and it's been a really, really slow day. I have done my routines, check, and I should have actually set the timer because I don't want to go over 15 minutes. You should have reminded me. Here we go. The timer's on. And so I've done all my routines. Hand towels are washed on the line. Husband's brought them in. And I have done my Domestika course session, and that was really, really good. We were looking at sketchbooks, and he came up with a novel idea to actually have 3 sketchbooks. So normally I'll have 1 sketchbook on the go because I think it's hard enough carrying 1 sketchbook around. But he had the idea to have 3 sketchbooks. So the first sketchbook is for realistic line drawing, doing gesturing and stuff like that. And then the second sketchbook is for more experimentation, and that is what I'm really excited to do more of, is actually experimenting with my work. And actually I would love to actually have a more European influence to my art, something like my friend and favourite illustrator Lucia Masciullo, who does beautiful European style illustration, and she's an Australian citizen born in Italy. And so yeah, I'm excited to have a sketchbook that's just for experimentation. And the third sketchbook idea was to have one just for your project that you're working on at the moment. So what I thought I already have one of those. So what I thought I would do is show you a page or two from my project sketchbook. So this is for a project called Bubba's Fig Tree, and it's based on my grandmother, who's an old Dalmatian grandmother. She's passed away now, but all through my childhood she always wore a scarf, because that's a cultural heritage thing. And so I just had this image in my mind of a little old grandmother who works in the garden and who wears a scarf. And so I did some sketching, and the first sketches I was just trying to work out, excuse the fingernails, work out what her character is like. And then I sort of thought of her as a little rotund old lady. But as I worked more on it, it sort of her personality started to come out. So I had her moving a little bit more. And that's Bubba moving. And then this is my favourite page. This is where I sort of worked out the sort of reading glasses she would have. So there you go. So that's part of my sketchbook. This is the small one. I've got a larger sketchbook for that project where I write in notes and storyboard, which is very much what Adolfo was telling us today. It was good to have it reinforced actually, and I was able to stop the video multiple times and take notes. A lot of it I knew. So we have some homework to do. I've got to do some sketches, and I've got to make a creative playlist for my project, so a music playlist. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe some Dalmatian music that I grew up with. So I'll have a look through there and try and find some whimsical music that would suit the story. And I think playing that music while I'm creating the art would be really, really inspiring. So I'm excited to get on with my homework. And so yeah, Rob's on leave and this is his first day. So he went down to the supermarket and stocked up on just our normal Saturday groceries. And he did manage to get everything except toilet paper. And tomorrow I have to go in to pick up new glasses. And I'm having my fitting for them. Bit nervous about going out, wondering whether I should wear a mask or what. But I'm doing it because I'd rather do it now, early on, than need glasses in a couple of months' time and things have gone gangbusters here and I can't actually get to the shops. So tomorrow I'm doing that. And we've decided not to go out for coffee anymore. Rob actually makes a magnificent coffee at home. We're not visiting friends anymore. We're not having friends over. We are staying isolated from our family in Queensland, my brother's family and my sister's family. And it's all by mutual agreement. They both have elderly mother-in-laws, who they are looking after, who are both in their 80s, and so they really need to look after them. I did ring my mother-in-law down in Melbourne the other day. Sadly, my parents have both passed when they were young, but my mother-in-law's 89, and it's quite hard to get her to stay home. So she lives in the country and she goes for lots of walks in the forest, and that's fantastic because go for it, you know, absolutely. But she also was working as a volunteer at the old people's home in her village, and of course that is now closed to visitors and volunteers. So she's lost her job. 89-year-old, and she has a volunteer job. Even has her own lanyard. You know, she's been there for years, and some of the patients are actually younger than she is. So she used to go there and play Scrabble and help feed them and keep them company and stuff like that. So that's left her at a loose end. And I asked her, you know, what have you been doing? So she's been to the shops to buy my birthday present. Oh, I feel so guilty. And she's been to the coffee shop, and she goes every day. She goes and has coffee with her friends. And I think she went to the Bowls Club to play Scrabble in some team that they have. So she's very, very active and she's very involved in the community. And it worries me sick. So it was quite hard to stress that to her, that we are having to slowly isolate ourselves from people and get used to the idea of not interacting as much. And when I was out at the shops the other day myself, trying to stay away, you know, 1.5 meters from everyone, I did notice that all the coffee shops were full of old people, and I mean people in their 80s. So I'm wondering, what is it with that? Is that they're just braver than we are, or they think, well, we were children in the Second World War, so we're okay? I don't know. So let me know in the comments whether your loved ones are doing the same wherever you are in the world. We're in Australia. So now the tables are turned, and we are telling. When they used to tell us, oh, you can't go out, you've got to stay home, you're grounded. Now we're having to turn around and tell them, you can't go out, you're grounded. Let me think. I did my daily Om, which is in this little notebook here. And I did my daily Om today, like a good girl. I put the link. I'll put the link in this video too for you. And it was talking about weather maps today, which is day 79. So it was talking about weather maps, and that was looking at spaces in your home. So the space I'm sitting in now is a space where I feel really, really calm and really, really clear. And it's what we call a smooth space. So I can sit here, and quite often on this couch, which used to belong to my mum, I can write. And if I feel like getting away from the rest of the family, I will sit here on this couch and write on my laptop. So it's a peaceful place. And I was wondering whether you have a spot in your house that's a peaceful place that has a different energy to other parts of your home. My study, because I've recently retidied it and cleaned it up and everything, it's looking really, really, really gorgeous. So that's also a peaceful and smooth place for me. And then I have prickly places in my home. Do you have any like that? Places in your house that you can't really settle down and feel relaxed, or you couldn't imagine yourself sitting there and working? For example, prickly place for me is my formal lounge at the moment, because it's overfilled with furniture, and also our rumpus room, where I've just got boxes stacked up, and they're all my teaching materials from when I was a teacher for 20 years. And I've got all these teaching materials, and they represent 20 years of work. So they're almost like my legacy. This is what I did. This proves that I did it. And it's really, really hard to let go of this legacy. So the daily a daily to clear what's holding you back. And I think that those teaching materials are part of the things that are holding me back. So, have you got a prickly place in your home? And have you got a nice smooth place like this one? I've got a candle here too, by the way, I forgot to tell you. And did you make yourself a cup of tea? I did. And this is a very exclusive mug. It's a a Wedgwood mug, given to me by my friend Cheryl Gwither when I launched her book. You see, I'm always launching other people's books. So thanks, Cheryl. And the tea today is chamomile and spearmint to help me sleep. I did have coffee this afternoon, and one bar of chocolate, one row of dark cooking chocolate, 40%. Perfect. Not too sweet, not too strong. It's just yummy. So I have that with a chamomile tea or a coffee. Okay, so that's spaces in your home. But have you ever also thought, when you're working from home, what about the time? So, the time of day. So spaces and time. I think that might be the theme for today's chat. And the time of day. Now, the time of day right now is nearly 6 o'clock at night. And it's surprisingly light in Queensland for that time of night. And the time of day for me that I am most creative, do you have a creative peak in your day? Are you one of those people who wakes up at 5 or 6 in the morning and you just have to get started, and you're so creative, and you just, all these ideas just firing off? And are you like that? Not me. No, I'm just like curled up in a ball on the bed, and just leave me alone and wake me up at about 9 o'clock. But no, I get up at 7:30. So I'm not a morning person. So in the morning I tend to do my routine, my house routine, and then exercise, and I tend to start firing up in the afternoon, which is when most people are waning. So, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, everyone's going, oh, give me a chocolate, give me a coffee, give me this. And I'm not like that. I do stop for a coffee and a chocolate at 3:45, because that's when my husband normally comes home from work. He's a teacher. So I like to sit with him and have that time together. And he reads me his tweets, and I talk about what I did that day, which isn't that interesting from his, because I don't go out to work, but I tell him anyway. And he tells me about all the kids at school. So if you're one of those kids, I know everything. I know everything. Naughty kids. Anywho, so I fire up. In fact, stopping to have that coffee with my husband is sometimes very difficult, because I'm in the zone. Like at 3:45, I'm really in the zone. So I sometimes don't want to stop, but I'm very fortunate because my husband's hobby is cooking. So he loves to cook dinner, and I will be working just like now. It's 6 o'clock at night and I'm still working, and I'm able to do that because that's really my creative peak. And I will even sometimes after dinner work till about 7:30, and then I call it quits. At 7:30 I stop, because I like to have time to unwind, not look at the screen and watch Netflix and chill with the cat and the husband. So do you have, what do you fire up in the evening? Like some people fire up at 9 in the evening and that's when they write. Some people start at midnight. Is there anyone else like me who writes at like 3 in the afternoon onwards? Sometimes I can do 2 o'clock, but often I'm having lunch about then. So hit me up with the comments. How are we going for time? Oh, we've only got 1 more minute left. I can't believe that. I didn't think I was going to have enough to talk about for 15 minutes. So I will call it quits now. I hope to see you again tomorrow. I've had some lovely feedback on yesterday's video, and a lot of people are housebound, a lot of people are in self-isolation, some are in quarantine. I have got a cousin who was diagnosed yesterday with positive result, and luckily she had quarantined herself already for the last 2 weeks, so she hasn't come into contact with any of the family, and we're really happy for her and her family. And so she has no symptoms, and she hasn't been around anyone with symptoms. So don't think that you have to have symptoms. You have to be diligent and aware of everyone in your environment and of yourself. You may be a carrier and you may not have symptoms. So just keep that in mind when you're out and about, and keep washing those hands. And I hope to see, oh, there's the time. I hope to see you again tomorrow. So take care, everyone. Chau vai